Hi, this is Érika from a small robot studio. Today I'll show you how to sculpt a potion with liquid in Nomad Sculpt. Here's the full design I created for this prop. Today I'm gonna focus only on the bottle, but I will make follow-up videos with sculpting techniques for the rest of the design. For this design that I created, I'm gonna take only the main silhouette with no transparency on the background and save it as a PNG to use it as a reference image when sculpting. Here in Nomad, in the top left, I'm gonna tap on this picture icon and then where it says reference image. Here with the plus icon, I can select the image that I want on the background. I like to change this value overlay because it's gonna show my image through my mesh. You can also change its size or its position. And at any point, bring it back to its original state with the Reset Settings button. Usually a scene is set to PBR shading, but I prefer to set a matcap. I'm gonna turn on the wireframe, and actually I just realized that my reference image is not centered to the scene. I should have planned this in advance, but I didn't, so I'll have to offset its position so it works. This looks much better. I'm gonna get rid of this original sphere and I'm gonna create my own with way less topology. So I'm gonna lower this host subdivision into 2 and everything else is fine. So validate the sphere. I say this on every video, but for those who don't know me, I always start with very little resolution because the less points that I have, the easier it is to control the shape. And right now my priority is the silhouette. So with my gizmo I am modifying this shape. Now a little trick to make sure that this is always aligned to my reference. I'm gonna go into the camera menu and I'm gonna add view. So if I change this, I move around, but I wanna align it once again to my reference, all I have to do is tap on this view and it's gonna go back to it. A very useful trick. Now with my selection mask, I'm gonna set it to lasso. I'm gonna select parts of my mesh, invert this mask, and get it closer to the actual shape of my reference. Select an area. Here in the mask menu you can clear, invert, blur, or sharpen your masks. You can also use the fast gestures. If you want more details about this, you can check the video that I made about it. I'm gonna accelerate this part of the video because I am doing the same operation over and over again, and once I explain you what I'm doing, I guess that it's pretty boring to watch. I think this looks alright, so I'm gonna go into the multi-resolution menu and subdivide it once. And I can easily go back to a lower level, adjust, and move back to a higher level and see how that is working. To get this indent of the center, I'm gonna go back to the lowest resolution level, and with my mask brush I'm gonna select an X at the very center, invert those. I want this to be the same shape in the X and the Z axis, so I want to make sure that my symmetry is activated on both of them. I'm gonna choose my move tool, make it somewhat big, tap normal, so this moves only on the same axis, and push this down. Let's see how that looks. And once you're done, don't forget to deactivate normal because it can be annoying if you're not actually trying to use it. Still with my move tool, I'm making some adjustments on the front and the side, checking both low and higher resolution. And we can even try going even one more subdivision level to make sure that this shape is looking real pretty. After a bit of tweaking, this is what it looks like. It seems to work as a silhouette in 2D, but I want to make sure that it works as a 3D shape. Let's turn off that reference for a second. Kind of looks like a molar. I know it doesn't quite look like a potion yet, but what I care about is to make sure that these are clean shapes. There are no weird bumps, it's just a smooth surface. Before I carry on, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the group of nice people that support the channel via Patreon. Thank you all so much. By the way, all our patrons gain access to a growing library of resources and 3D assets like this potion model. Learn more at patreon.com/smallroadstudio or have a look at our Gumroad Store to buy individual assets. Okay, let's get back to the tutorial. I'm gonna create a duplicate which I'm gonna hide for the moment. I'm gonna use this later, but I wanna make sure that I make the duplicate now. And in the scene menu, I'm gonna create a cylinder. Let's bring back the wireframe. Let's make this smaller. This is gonna be the neck of the potion. Here at the top, I have this menu and I'm gonna tap where it says radius. And I wanna hide this gizmo. So here at the right, I'm gonna choose tube. And with this color points, I can modify this cylinder. I wanna make it a little bit bigger, that's fine. And the yellow ones are gonna let me change the radius of this tube. This seems to work. I'm gonna take my gizmo and I'm gonna tap in the left where it says clone. Move my gizmo up and just like that, I get a copy. Let's take away for a moment those double radiuses so I can, with my gizmo, give this the shape that I need. Now, as you can see, my design has rounded corners. These primitives don't. So I'm gonna open the topology menu and I'm gonna bring this slider a bit lower, but I'm gonna bring post subdivision higher, and you can see that as soon as I start moving this one, I start getting rounded corners. So I can play with these numbers. So if I'm happy with this, I'm gonna validate it. And before I validate this neck as well, I want to make a few clones because you can see that I got several shapes that are also cylinders. So once again, I'm gonna accelerate this because it's just a bunch of cylinders, which is not that very exciting to look. The real secret here is just getting those rounded corners by using post subdivision inside the topology menu. It's starting to look like a bottle, but it's still in pieces. Just like before, I'm gonna name the objects and duplicate them to have a backup. For every piece, I'm gonna go into multi-resolution and subdivide it to make sure that the surface looks soft. Once you're in a level that you like it, delete the lower ones. We're going through this process to ensure that we end up with a smooth surface once we merge all the objects together. Once you have done this, on the scene menu, select all your objects and tap on voxel merge. You might need to adjust the number to avoid this sort of results. If the corners still look a bit funky, you may run a little bit of smoothing around them. If you're planning to render this inside Nomad, this already works. I'm gonna go into the material menu and select additive. Back in the scene menu, I'm gonna bring back the backup that I created for the body and make this a tad smaller. This is gonna be the liquid inside our potion. With the project tool set to line, I can flatten the top and I can see the liquid inside my bottle. It's gonna look even better if I select the bottle. I go into the painting menu, select a dark color, set a low roughness and high metalness, and paint it all. It doesn't look very interesting here in madcap shading, but if I change it back to PBR, look at how nice this looks. This method works fine if you're staying inside Nomad, but if you are planning to take this to another renderer, let's say you Blender, Maya, wherever, you will actually need to create a hollow bottle. To do so, we're gonna create subtractions with our backups. Here's a copy of the neck. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Let's validate it. I am going to hide it. Choose my bottle and tap on voxel merge. That shape was subtracted and now I got the neck hollow. Let's do it once again with the backup of my body. Let's make this a tad smaller. Make sure this is higher resolution. Hide it. Select the bottle and voxel merge it. And this is the result. If you're not sure if it worked, you can use the split tool to see how it looks like in the inside. Let me show you another way to create crystal here in Nomad. Let's go back to a PBR shading method and in material choose refraction. I'm gonna change the index of refraction to something like 1.7 maybe. Activate absorption, a number like 0.5 works fine. And set the interior roughness to somewhere around 0.6. A lot of this is experimental. As for the paint, we need to lower the roughness and make sure that metalness is all the way down to 0, otherwise it's gonna lose its transparency. You can add some color to it, of course. I would just recommend to keep it light. It doesn't look that exciting alone, but when I bring the other pieces of my prop, it suddenly looks much better. And it gives you a better idea of the changes that you can do color-wise. Go ahead and experiment with these numbers. You don't have to do exactly the same. One extra setting that might make it look better is to turn off two-sided. I quite like how this looks, but there is one problem. For some reason, it shows me through all the geometries except the liquid. This one doesn't look very nice. So if I was rendering just in Nomad, I would get rid of the liquid and just work with this. But if you're taking this to another software, like I said at the start, then it's absolutely worth it to keep the liquid. Anyway, I'll see you soon with a new video to show you different techniques for sculpting the rest of the prop. Don't forget to tag me to show me your creations. See you soon and happy sculpting! That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.